is Hulk Hogan, brother, and you're listening to the best of the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Lummy, have we got a report from Dianavac? Is he okay? Is he mad at us? Like,
no,
I mean,
he texted me yesterday. He went on a bike ride.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he said.
And so these Hall of Famers, you got to keep happy. You know, that's the backbone of the business. The Hall of Famers.
He said when he got home, there was a tornado that went through Colorado, so it was good that he got home a little earlier to fix his fence and stuff.
But I never even got to say hi to the guy. I never ever got to shake his hand, give him a hug. He's a Hall of Famer. He's supported the show through a lot of money. He flies in from Colorado to attend to Bubba 199 with Brian from Philly, but they made the mistake and had Mitch, the Mushroom Mitch, pick him up, their tour guide. And Mushroom Mitch just, completely spun him right down to zero.
Showed him a good time, I guess. I had a good time.
Dianavac, we're thinking about you. We love you.
He said if he wakes up early enough, he'd like to call in and thank everybody.
Perfect.
I got to slap him a little bit.
I think Buck comes in this weekend, is he not?
Yes, he is.
And you're going to show him the pond and everything?
Yep.
Big Buck from Charleston?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, Lummy, I don't want Buck to, think that he has to do this. From what I can gather, he wants to, rent an excavator and, 2 dump trucks and, kind of scoop out the pond. What is your understanding that Buck wants to do? And I'm way, way, way humbled and so appreciative of it, but that's going to cost a lot of money.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have him look at it, too, and explain to him that for that last 5-6 months when the water was extremely low, we still were at 4 or 5 feet.
Yeah.
So, when it's at its high, and there's nowhere, the more rainwater we get in, it's not going to help. It's all due to the rain.
Yeah, but here's the deal. If we did if we did get an excavator and made it deeper, because you got to understand, it's basically a runoff pond. So with that comes silt, a ton of silt, which makes the pond. It's not a freshwater, fresh-fed pond. It's a runoff willy, and so it gets a bunch of silt in it. So we naturally lose depth over the years. And when I first got it, if you remember, we desilted it because it wouldn't even really hold much. It was like a foot. It was nothing. It was a we took a retention pond and made it a regular pond.
Uh-huh.
And so Lummy, even though it's still 4 or 5 feet.
Well, now it's at about 8.
I know, but if we were to get some of that silt out of there, it would make it
10.
It would make it deeper and it would make it healthier from when we're super dry. Right, Lummy?
To be honest, I'll talk to Buck about it, but I don't think it's gonna. We've never had that pond flood, even with all the rain we've had the last couple years.
I know, but it's not for flooding; it's for depth, meaning it has the ability to retain more water when it's dry. I don't know. You and Buck talk about it.
I think taking the trees out when you did do the silt and everything, it's kept a lot of the leaves out of there.
Yeah,
but I'll talk to him.
Yeah, but I don't want Buck to spend a lot of money because in order to do it right, you'd have to get an excavator. You'd have to tear a little bit of the fence down. You'd have to relocate the goats. You'd have to spend a whole day of scooping it out, which Buck can do all of that. But you're going to have to arrange, 2 to 4 dump trucks to go be there for you to put the silt in and then pay dumping fees. Yeah. It could be a very expensive job. And that's too much. Buck already does so very much for the show.
What would you do with the goats?
Take him house.
Take him over to Lummy's house. He's got a back fence that you could easily keep him for a couple days.
Yeah.
If Buck said, hey, I need a weekend to get this done,
You had him cooped up in the garage for the hurricane, didn't you?
Yeah. I would have left him outside.
They didn't like that, did they?
Well, no. They were stuck in a little 3-car garage.
Yeah, but if they were outside, they would, boy, Lummy, you would have to mow.
No, not at all.
Boy, it's getting awful. Poor little things. They've eaten every blade of grass out back, have they not?
Yes, they have. Now we just need to keep raining and let it grow back.
Well, that or you need to go trim.
It's like a beach.
Some of those. Yeah, it looks like a beach back there.
And I put that blue dye in it, Bubba. Now it looks really nice, too.
I'll go look at it today. One of these days, Lummy, I found those chairs for us to do our fishing deal one of these days.
No problem.
Don't forget today's after show will be exclusive on Twitch. Twitch.tv/The Bubba Army, The Bubba Army. It's the only time that we will ever be on Twitch again because we're moving Bubba 199s over to Rumble.
To the Rums.
To the Rums. Lummy, I got this package today, and I'm a little concerned.
That there's anthrax in it?
Patter?
No. I don't know who it's for. It says Bubba /Lummy Clem. So
Lummy Clem.
it literally says Bubba / Lummy Clem, and then it says again Bubba / Lummy Clem, and then it has our address. It's from Fanatics.
What if it's a joint gift?
I mean, now is it?
Listen, I'll open it.
No, you're not touching it.
Oh, sorry.
So Lummy, I think it's for you, and they just had to put me in there because this is my place. Would you want me to open it?
Yeah.
And then I'll see.
Yeah, because it could be for you too. Could be for both of us.
Well,
It's a horse costume. One guy's in the front, one guy's in the back.
Kind of like that. The backpack pump Average Joe sent for the pond. It said Bubba Lummy.
Did we ever find that?
Yeah, it's out in the bullpen.
Okay.
It's a really nice one too.
And it's a Packers 3X.
Oh yeah, so it's you.
Like unless it really was meant for you, and it's trying to make me jealous.
No, some people do put my name because since I'm here sometimes with the goats, and I see the packages, I kind of bring them in.
Oh,
or they send me the tracking number just so I can see it.
Oh, I don't know who this is from, but this is very nice. It's like almost kind of a sweatshirt, medium to brisk weather hood, Packer hoodie.
Nice.
But I don't think it doesn't say. There's no.
You're going to be too slim by the time it's cold enough to wear it.
No note.
No note. So I don't know what to do.
Oh no.
Thank you.
Thank you for whoever did. Let me know who it is so I can thank you. I completely forgot today's Tuesday. I gave you guys all
the table
homework.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody reminded me yesterday, which is okay. We were busy, and I just got a
lot of things going on.
A lot of things going on.
That you won't tell us about.
Most people know.
Oh, nice.
But Lummy, did everybody print out their podcasting table?
I have a link to mine.
You do? Can you send it to me?
Yeah, mine you can kind of customize, so it's not 100% what it's supposed to look like.
Because I'm trying to build this podcasting area that we do some podcasting on, and okay, here we go, Lummy.
So,
that's pretty. Oh, look at the prices.
Well, yeah, but I think we could. But I was saying the design. If we turn your section a little bit more to a straight on instead of a curved, and you're straight on with the two, so you can see them both on camera.
So like this.
Yeah.
And which one would you like? Which one do you suggest? A, B, or C?
I would say
C.
C.
The 4-piece modular podcast table.
Yeah.
And where would I sit? Like right here?
Yeah, and then you have your two kind of right on the other side.
Right here.
So
there's one in between me?
Yes.
Boom and boom.
Yeah.
And then I sit here.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
maybe.
you can see everyone on camera and you're kind of away from them.
What's that 4-banger going for? That 4-banger's going for 3,100.
Yeah. But I was just thinking for the idea, like the picture, I'm sure we could find it cheaper.
What?
Nothing.
You think Rhett could build the 4-banger?
I think so.
On what? So there's one in between me?
Yes.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Read her, Julie. What's so?
Lovey didn't prep for this. No one did. He just went on Google Images podcasting table. That's the
Dr.
first one
Dan.
that
Dr. Dan.
No. Bubba, I just sent you and Lummy my suggestion, which is not that different than his. Because
well, Lummy's gonna have to send it
Wait,
to
Dr.
me.
Dan,
I also just sent Lummy my suggestion as well, which
Dr.
he can
Dan, look at this.
throw into the mix.
No.
Look at my email. What does my email say?
No, I see it. And Bubba, I worked on this too. Now, my concept was a V-shaped table, but I couldn't find.
I need to see these concepts.
I just sent the U-shaped table that I decided would be better. The V-shaped table, I couldn't find anyone to really.
The first thing you're going to want to do when you receive your podcast table shit.
All right.
The curve, the beauty of the curve, like a half circle table is it's very adaptable. That's horrible.
Whose is this?
That's Reds.
That's
It's a lunch table.
No, I know that's small, but obviously we
Torture.
could facilitate a bigger version of
Let
that.
me give Red a -1 for that.
What?
My God, you think I'm going to sit?
sounds pretty cool.
You think I'm going to sit there like I'm at some factory?
It's not the one that's on your screen right now, right?
Let me reset.
It was a rectangle with 4 arms.
Yeah, one in each corner.
Yeah, that's
and we could get a bigger
video.
table.
Horrible video.
Is
horrible idea.
Is
horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Is it terrible?
I feel like I'm at I work at a factory and that's my lunch. I'm sitting there with 4 other dudes.
Table.
And we're we got our lunch boxes.
It's gonna give you the most leg room. If you go with the table Lummy sent, you're gonna be bumping knees with all your guests all.
I would stop trying to supersell your crapness, or you'll get another one. Okay.
Bump your knees with the one I sent. Mine's not even close to bumping your knees.
You're talking about the horseshoe deal? The one that I'm looking at now?
Lummy said this one right here.
How are you bumping knees?
I'm sitting here, and my 2 guests would sit here and here.
There's
How are we
36
bumping
inches
knees?
Where's mine?
Okay.
I'm sending it to him.
Let me give him another negative one for trying to throw his boy under the bus.
I can't be the best. I'll be the worst.
Trying to act like I just Googled it.
All right. So
I didn't say that at all.
I said Anna
said
said
Anna.
that.
He threw me
I
under
said
the bus.
Anna did.
That's fine.
I
A
don't
couple
care.
things here, Bubba.
Where's yours?
I had to
It's
email it to
coming.
me.
It's coming.
And then where's Macho Man's? Does Macho Man have one, or does Macho Man feel as he doesn't need? If Macho Man feels he doesn't need to submit one because he's going to be wiring all this nonsense up, then I understand.
He said no comment.
And then
What do you think of this guy?
That makes my blood boil.
All right, okay. I did not say that. And I also
he didn't.
I need to project more on the microphone, so I'll work on that. But
So
I'm
about-
setting my idea to Lummy right now.
okay.
You like that? You like that?
Ooh.
So I like the kidney-shaped tables.
All right, hold on. I got to figure out.
That's from me,
This is
baby.
from- this
you
is-
can click on any of those
But that
photos.
doesn't help. That doesn't help cameras much. I'm thinking cameras, Bubba. And if you look at the U-shaped table, there's a couple features about it
Hold
I
on.
like.
Is this yours?
Yes.
All right, this is yours.
2 features I like about
Damn
that.
it, God forbid, Anna, we start talking about yours before his.
Hey, it's cool.
No, it came up first. And
Anna,
then hers came up.
we'll get to yours next.
No problem.
Anna.
No problem.
All right, so this is yours.
Right. Your legs are covered because no one wants to see your shoes. No one wants to see your shorts or your knees. The beautiful thing about this is it's very adaptable because if you're like imagine like 6 o'clock being in the middle. So if you're doing like I'm right, he's left, and we're screwed, you'd be in the middle. If you're doing a normal podcast where you're on one side and you have the guest or 2 on the other side, but you could also have a teammate on your side. Like if you and I were in there and we're interviewing like Fauci and Birx, you know what I mean? So that way it's super adaptable. I don't like the bar stool version. I think it's too tall. I like the normal table
Now
height.
what about that where it's reverse? I kind of like that.
I like that too. It's a spin off of the same table.
Well, I understand, Dan. Like it's a spin. It's a reverse of that.
Right. It's just showing you the other view, the view from the camera.
And I think for the camera,
that's what they'd see.
I like this. I like this better. Like I could sit here, and I could have one guest sit here. If I had just one guest, or I mean, so again,
I envision it so if you were to sit at the second seat
here?
Normally, yes, and your guest would sit at the 4th seat normally.
Here?
Yeah, and that way when you're looking at you guys with the camera, you could have your background even in the side shots of the ISO shots. I think because I was thinking like, how do you video the guys talking and still have Bubba paraphernalia in the background?
Now,
and so that way I'm thinking camera angles.
What type of materials can you?
Dark woods looks the best. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Anna, don't you agree? The dark woods. I think the dark woods look the best on the camera. They look rich. They look classy.
So that this one
muted. Yeah,
I'm gonna go
something
this
like that.
one. So let's do that.
And 30 height.
But then I like that. But how do I put the dark wood on that?
I think that's a separate piece.
Meaning that's not dark woodable.
I think it all is dark woodable.
Depending on the material, we could just finish it ourselves.
You can darken it.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll be built. And I like Anna's idea too. That it's sort of like an organic fluid, sort of a kidney-shaped table.
Yeah. Possibly. I don't know.
Let me see here.
I'm
trying.
I like a setup where people can make eye contact.
Yes, I do too.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And they make eye contact here.
I really like this one. I really do. And it's only $1,800.
Mm-hmm. And again, there's different versions of that. This isn't like the end-all, be-all version.
We might even
of it.
be able to call the company up and say, "Hey, man, you want to sponsor our deal?"
Uh-huh.
All right, so that's so far. I like yours the best. Okay, this was yours, Lummy.
Which I like too. I like that too. It's modular. It's convertible. It's a similar concept. I just don't like the open legs.
Whose is this?
That's Macho. He said to change the logo out. That's what Macho's going to build for us.
Macho, how much
Make it red.
How much would something like that cost? No, for real. Like that's not even like if that was doable, I would maybe build something like that, but I don't think that's like that. What is that? 10, 15, 20 grand?
We'll just find some investors. We got it.
No.
And that's a V. That's the V I'm talking about. That's what I liked the best was a V.
I like the I like the riser too, but no, I mean like Macho Man this is not buildable.
Definitely make that.
Get some welders involved.
You could definitely make
feasible.
that.
You could not. You're going to need metal fabricator.
I don't think Fox 13 has got any extra desks like that sitting in their storage closet.
Terry could build you that.
It's been in there for like 5 years, hasn't been used.
Bubba, right. I bet you Terry could get that made.
All right.
We spec it out. He can get that welded.
Now,
he's got guys for that.
Here's
I like this too.
Here's Anna's. Let's go through Anna's. I don't necessarily not like this. Like I think the table looks a little cluttered. I would probably not have mic stands as I would have one hole in the middle and then individual mic.
You can configure it differently where it's more like you sit in a semicircle. Yeah.
So like I would sit here, Anna, and my guest would sit there.
Yeah.
And then if you needed somebody else, they could sit there.
How you going to camera them?
Or more in the back.
Yeah, I don't like all that. All that. I mean, we don't need all that.
Interesting octopus.
Oh no, I'm not trying to showcase the whole studio, just the table.
Just the table.
Yeah.
I like the table.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Now, Mach. All right. I'm not even gonna go with Mach's deal because it's unrealistic.
Got to think big.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
More TVs.
We got the TVs behind it already. We just got to
exactly.
All right.
But you could just slap 2 TVs on the front of a table and it would be like a lit table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you had sort of like a diamond shaped table.
You mean this table or another table?
Similar to that, but go back to the Fox table that he kind of like was trying to make a joke out of.
I don't know where it's at.
But if you take a table and make a triangle, and so you get the V for you and your guests, and then the front's flat, you just put a TV or 2 in the front, and then all of a sudden you got whatever you need.
So you take that.
And just slap 2 TVs in front.
Make it a V?
Make it a V in the back or a V with a flat spot at the top, like a cutoff pyramid, like on the dollar bill. That way you could be in the middle if necessary, and you had someone on your left, someone on your right, but predominantly you'd be on the left interviewing 1 or 2 people on the right, and you'd have great camera angles, and you could make sort of a V-shaped table, and then just literally the front of the table's fascia would be a TV.
Okay.
And we could make it out of wood and paint it silver, and then the chairs make it pop. So
perfect.
So you like a U or a V, I think, is what you're sort of settling on, that sort of template, a U or a V with a notch.
Are you saying
like that's a V with a notch cut out?
And just a suggestion, but there's also the big ass table approach. Dale Jr. has it. Joe Rogan kind of has that too.
Yeah, I saw that picture and I didn't like that V.
I was just asking for Dr.
Ew.
Dan.
That looks like I'm going to some kind of training.
No, I meant just
Anna and I have to go to training this Saturday for speeding tickets.
Well, no, I was just saying for the shape of the desk.
And Bubba, one thing you may want to do, and I was thinking about this because I did put some thought into this, is maybe you want to set up chairs without a table first and see how you like the chair setup, and then once you get that, build a table around your chair setup.
The chairs are going to be the chair.
Sit in them.
The chairs are going to be the ones the chair that I'm sitting in right now.
The positions of the chairs. You know what I'm saying? Like how are you comfortable? Like sit up there, like on the left, in the middle, on the right. How would you do it? And then you could kind of like draw the dimensions of the table around where you want your sitting.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's all about seating positions and camera angles, so you can get as much of your beautiful backdrop and all the stage decorations you've
less of
created.
Me, less of my fat ass, and more distracting.
All of it.
Hello.
Hey, Bob, I got a quick question. Don't mean to change your subject real quick. Regarding your pond, is that fed by catch basins or any drain manholes off the street? Yeah,
it's pretty much it is. It's fed by all that, and of course the rain and stuff like that. But it's there's how many different tubes? Two. There's 2 different tubes that feed the pond from the ditches and it's a retention pond.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the EPA came out some years ago. Anything that's discharged into something like that has got to go through a unit that separates the silt from the water. So any water that's discharged is clear water. That could be one of the problems you're having with maybe your fish is you're getting a lot of fluids off the street.
Now, I don't think that the city of Tampa has any type of system that separates the silt from the water. I think it's just a big pipe that they've dug
It's a passive drain, isn't it?
Each of these ditches out that goes into a. Yeah, I don't think there's any system nonetheless.
Well, there is.
Two for the day.
I work in the precast industry, and we sell units that are designed for that because of the simple fact that the new EPA regulation says you have to discharge clear water. You have to separate the silt from the water.
We're grandfathered in.
I think we're grandfathered in. This building was built like in '78 or something.
Is it in an industrial park?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to check with the city. They may be able to do something.
We don't want the city around here.
And technically, this is running off our parking lot, so we're not even messing with the city.
Yeah, we don't like the city down here sniffing around.
We dug a hole, and now there's a pipe going to it from our parking lot.
Anyway, hey, I appreciate your pond expertise, bud. I really do.
All right, good luck.
Thank you. Let me go into words when I come back. Supposedly Ron DeSantis, who we used to like, is now unveiling an aggressive immigration and border security policy that's going to supposedly save, like this is going to be the big shot in the arm that his campaign needs. Is that how it was positioned?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's been positioned. And he also has asked a federal judge to dismiss the lawsuit that Disney says, oh, you want to sue us? We're Disney. We got a little bit of money. How about a counter Willie?
Mm-hmm.
Those get expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Ron says, "Oh no, I'm going to get a federal judge to throw it out. Not so quick. Not so quick, big boy." So we'll get into what Ron DeSantis needs to do to potentially say, because I don't think that there's any buzz on him at all. Is there?
Well, he was one of the few people that had a post-announcement decline instead of a pop. Instead of him going up after he announced, his numbers went down.
And you know what
he's
it's all
dead
about?
In the water.
There's one thing.
He's a
There's
belly up
one
fish.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
His 6 week, he
I think people don't like the Disney thing either.
No one cares about the Disney thing.
Well, they just think it's stupid.
Two rats at. I know, but it's just a pile-on thing. It's the
abortion deal.
It's the abortion.
It's the abortion deal, man.
He lost everybody.
Bubba, I was listening to Ben Shapiro yesterday, and he agreed with you on that. With the 6 week, he said, "Look, to win the presidency, whether I like it or not, you have to be 15 to 16 weeks."
Yeah,
that's exactly what he said.
And Ron locked it down to 6.
Stupid.
And well, I'll tell you this.
It's stupid.
I'll tell you this. If I represent the average red-blooded, leaning GOP guy, I probably do. I probably represent. I'm high school educated. I own my own business. I'm scrappy. I'm smart to an extent. And I liked Ron DeSantis.
Mm-hmm.
He then puts up with this. Puts this 6 week abortion deal, and now I don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably a lot of Bubba Clems that are just like Buck from Charleston, that are just like Nash's, that are just like Iggy, that are just like Creatine Travis, and on the upper end of that, just like Dan Diaco. That pissed me off.
Yeah, it was irritating.
That pissed me off. That got me off his tip. And he's done so many. He could have just feathered the gas because he did some good stuff.
He didn't have to do anything, Bubba. He could have done what Biden did and just sat in his basement and won the election.
What he should have done was this.
Dumbass.
He should have ran on one thing.
Yep.
I kept Florida open during COVID, and we were free down here to come and go for the most part.
Right, home of the free.
We had the vaccinations available if you needed them.
If you want them.
And we for the most part we were the freest, most open-minded when it came to locking people down like animals. There were states that actually locked people down like animals, and we didn't. We were free in Florida. That's all he should have ran with.
Right, Tommy.
Stay away from abortion.
Yes.
Don't sue Disney.
No.
Don't screw with Andrew Warren. Don't mess with the Mexicans.
And I think some people, Tommy 2X has a good point here, because some people do have a sense of honor. when someone gets caught, like cheating in a debate, Alex Sink got destroyed in the governor's gubernatorial contest against Rick Scott because she cheated during the debate. When the prosecution cheated during the O.J. Simpson criminal trial, everyone went to O.J. And so when you have someone that is perceived,
what do you cheat on?
Well, it's not cheating as much as being disingenuous and being disrespectful. When you look at DeSantis's upcoming and his rise to the governorship, it is literally only because Trump gave him the necessary oomph at the beginning to put him on the map. And then when he came back and started backstabbing Trump because he was trying to promote his own political agenda, I think that also turned off a lot of the traditional, red-blooded Republicans that really, 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 really want freedom, power, and America first.
What did he stab him in the back?
Hold on, Trump.
Just by running.
Day one.
I got to go into words. Trump Kennedy is my ticket.
But dude, that's
ticket.
like Fantasyland. That's like saying, my tickets.
I can't have Fantasyland.
My ticket's like Da
Why
Vinci
can't I
and
have
Jesus.
fantasy?
I can have Fantasyland.
Okay, I want Da Vinci and Jesus to run.
If Trump wants to win,
That sounds good.
There's been other people that agree with me. If Trump wants to win, he gets RFK Jr. in there. I'm just saying, stranger things have happened. That's what Arnold did when he successfully governed California, and maybe that's what our country needs. Maybe that's what our country needs. Trump, you need to back it down a notch on the narcissism and get as much as this blows your mind, Robert Kennedy Jr.
Who I like.
That's the ticket. That's the ticket that I'll vote for. Anything else, I ain't voting.
Trump actually said that he likes his ideas.
Yeah. See, Dan, watch this happen.
And they said RFK has reached out to Trump.
This happen. If Trump was smart and could back it down a notch and open up his narcissistic mind into this, he would win. This would win. He could beat Biden if he had RFK Jr.
He won't beat Jesus and Leonardo da Vinci, though.
Dan, you're as smart as you are. That was the dumbest thing you could have said.
Not really, because it's zero chance of that happening. There's zero chance of Trump lining up with RFK Jr.
Fall on your face.
There's zero chance, Bubba.
Fall on your face, or let me.
Zero chance.
He's been arrested, sued, fined, and fired. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. So what does that make him? Bubba the Love Sponge.
Let me. During the hot mic, you made a horrible mistake. You made Would you like to explain to the fine people as to why you're being penalized?
I'm being penalized because I actually thought Mason Dixon was Jack Harrison. I couldn't listen to the audio during the show. So
I know. It's not labeled it's not labeled. When you did it's not labeled. Let me see how it's labeled. Tampa Bay area radio host Mason Dixon shares his most memorable moment. It's not like it's very. I understand the mistake absolutely.
I had to go off of the.
It's not like it was. It wasn't like we're gonna go ahead and do a highlight on a radio personality in Tampa, Florida, and then you'd have to try to decipher as to whether it was Mason Dixon. It's not like Mason Dixon doesn't jump right out at you there, buddy.
But it does. It's from 2020. And it doesn't give the names on the Facebook group.
I know, but when you're going through here, man, I mean, not knowing who that guy is, you were supposed to have watched that entire
I'm sorry. I
preview.
was trying to watch it during the show. I didn't have audio on.
Yeah,
so when I looked up and Mason, I think
but you can clearly see, that's Jack.
Yep.
That's Jack.
And then if you
that's Mike Calta.
Yep.
And that's Ann Kelly. And that's Ron Diaz.
And at the end, is there?
That's Mason Dixon. Probably looking the best of any of them. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm waiting for your explanation that makes sense and is believable and not just a complete made-up lie.
It's not a lie. I just said I went through it quick when I was
so
watching it.
Would that be like a half-asser? Like you didn't lie to me, you half-assed it.
I half-assed. They don't put names on it, so I had to look at the people and know who they were talking about to then Google it because they don't have it.
And that's a little sad that you don't know Tampa radio history in that manner. I guarantee you.
I just found all
show
of them.
historian, not Tampa radio
But
historian.
I found them all, and the only one I didn't, I looked at it quick and.
No, but I even doubted you. I'm like, I think there's a Mason Dixon one. You're like, nope,
I drew pictures of him in my old Trapper Keeper.
Well, I'm sorry. Like I said.
So that was a bona fide lie.
Yeah, that was a bona fide lie. I'm just 100% liar.
So just
-6 on there.
No,
it's all right, Lummy. Me
listen,
too.
Lummy, Rhett, hold on, Rhett.
No, just as a fellow liar, I just wanted to chime in
my
and help
gosh.
Lummy out.
Wow, Rhett's really holding on to that comment that you made last week.
He made
Bubba.
it a couple times yesterday too.
That's a
It's not a
throwback.
thing that I've harbored.
That's a throwback in your facer. Give him a -1 for a throwback in my facer. Listen, you know I sit back here and just spew stuff that I don't remember and I don't mean. So please quit having thin skin, all you people around here. It's a show.
That's what gingers have, though. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
they are very thin skin.
The sun gets me after 20 minutes.
I mean, yeah, you're right, but still.
When daylight is your enemy.
Right. That's still a -1 for a chimer inner. And then it should be almost another -1 for trying to stick up for a guy that's in trouble. And don't we have that to plead your case? Sir?
I was just trying to empathize with Lummy. I'm sorry.
I
wasn't trying to get him in more
I don't have
trouble.
an empathization bone in my body, my friend.
Oh, I
Douglas Pearson is my first PayPal. Thank you so much.
Eagle said coach.
We got to wade through this scorecard right now, and a diversion as well. I was laser locked on this Radio Legends deal, and then Lummy, you got somewhere while we were talking about this and preparing for this next segment, you got me mad and distracted and lied to and just half-assed. So I knew I was going to open up the segment with at least giving you a -1. So you at least got a -1.
Yes.
You should, let's be honest, the egregiousness of the mistake could warrant more minuses, but because you're my favorite, like if that was Dan or Brian or even Rhett, that might be a -2 or 3. What's the most major penalty we've ever had?
Probably Rhett. Got like -10 or something.
-4.
No, I'm talking about one time. Like I'm
-4.
Yeah,
Rhett,
it was bad.
-4.
Really?
Yes.
Do you ever like a running all-time?
Rhett, you laugh at like that? Like that's funny.
No, I knew it was coming.
I would be, very embarrassed knowing that you had made such a huge mistake that you got a -4.
I don't know. You brag about the largest FCC fund in history. So.
No, I don't.
If I can't be the best, I'll be the worst.
Be the best being the worst.
Exactly.
Jesus, you guys got my head scrambled.
Sorry.
Why don't everybody just shut up a little bit? I know where I'm going with this. So anyway, Lummy, give yourself a -1. Give Rhett a -1.
Yes.
And then we'll just keep it. We'll just, we need to stop. It's getting out of control. You guys are really pissing me off. And I just handing out these minuses aren't healthy for the program. But Brian did, I think, ask, do you keep a running total? So, Brian, I should almost give you a -1 for not knowing about the program.
I was making sure Lummy had a running total. I didn't want to get him in trouble further.
Yes, you just asked me a question if I didn't have one that I would be getting in trouble. So, yes, you were. But it's okay, Brian.
Phew. Man, my head's a spinning.
Brian was looking for probably a good boy.
Oh, is he looking for was he begging for a pop on that?
I believe he was.
Are you being a whistleblower right now and saying, hold on, let's just go ahead and, this is a whole world in itself, this whole scorekeeping deal. Were you whistleblowing on him begging for a pop? I think that's kind of how you, I'm just
yes,
asking.
That's what I was doing.
You were whistleblowing on him begging for a pop.
Yes, in my opinion, that's a whistleblower.
How does that, Anna, you as probably being the only unbiased person here, have to help me. I need some.
Wade through this. Oh, man, I kind of want to be Switzerland right now.
You do?
Yeah. Building bunkers, staying out of trouble.
Sipping coffee.
Yep.
So you don't want to help me.
I would love to help you.
No, I'm not going to give you a minus because not wanting to help me. I just want your true opinion is that you'd probably prefer not to.
To stay neutral.
Right, okay.
Thank you.
Well, you want me to be the prick.
Oh, we can give a Macho. He's probably the,
Macho, would you he doesn't even like to, he doesn't even want to, listen, when I hired Macho, it was strict instructions. He does not want to be on the air. Not 1 second. And we're slowly getting him on the air. Air's like, air is like not going to the gym to him. He doesn't like it. So, Macho Man, would you care to participate on this? That Lummy possibly was whistleblowing on a potential minus begging for a pop on Brian?
I'm gonna have to remain neutral because I was passively listening because I've been in the back studio. It's like Christmas in July, so I found all that equipment we were talking about earlier. So I'm in a good mood.
It's a fancy way of saying no comment.
And no
Okay,
comment.
great, perfect, thank you.
And no comment.
Yes, and no comment. I didn't need the backstory; just a no comment would have worked. Thank you. Anyway, Lummy, it seemed like you were trying to tell on Brian to get him a minus. That you were like accentuating that he was begging for a pop, and you whistleblowed it. And sometimes a whistleblower is a plus here, is it not?
Yes, it is. You said you want whistleblowers. I was just saying
But
because
sometimes they get exiled.
Brian's theory was he was trying not to get me in trouble.
But see, a whistleblower, when you bring a whistleblower, you gotta know that a whistleblower could be if it's a unjust whistleblowfication, then it's a negative. So whistleblowers are a little bit scary in the fact that, yes, they could be a +1, but they could also be a -1.
High risk, high reward.
Yes, exactly.
Could it just be a throwaway? Because if Brian wasn't trying to get it?
Now you're completely changing your position. Now you're flip-flopping.
Oh, no,
that is a negative.
No, I still...
A flip-flop is a negative.
No, I'm not flip-flopping.
No, you're flip-flopping on your original whistleblower.
No, I just asked with the judge if he wanted to rule.
You are flip-flopping on your initial whistleblower.
No, I'm not. I'm not flip-flopping at all. I believe Brian was trying to get me in trouble to get himself a pop at me.
Then be a man and say, I am whistleblowing. Be a man about it.
I am. I'm telling you.
Put your 3 fingers up and say it.
I, Lummy.
Right.
Am telling
you as a man
that I am the man, and I am a man.
You're telling
I'm the man,
I am the man, and he's got his left hand up.
Every man, whatever you want me to say, I'm a man. You're a man. We're all men except for Anna.
As men.
As men.
You don't know how to identify.
Perfect. Okay. As men here right now, I'm telling you, in my opinion, Brian was trying to get me in trouble to get me another negative so that he could then get a good job, Brian, from you to get a pop for himself because he doesn't have any points on the scoreboard and he's trying to bury me.
That couldn't be further from the truth.
That's your opinion.
I really just wanted to know what the running total was.
But
and
you
I
knew there was a running
question.
total because last time you were here, Bubba talked about it with us.
I assumed there was.
Mm-hmm. And you just thought I didn't have it.
No, not at all.
Order in the courtroom.
Or because you've already made fun of not having the trapper keeper because it's gone.
Here's the deal.
And that's not your fault.
We're stopping all of this nonsense. Okay, this is to go on and on.
Yes.
We got to get to the legends of radio as to why I'm mad at Jen Epstein, which I said 45 minutes ago.
Right.
So I'm on Rumble right now, looking at chat. I can toggle between both. Thank you. I'm getting unbelievable computer skills. And I'd like to kind of go to chat and say, how do you score this? And here are your options: Lummy -1, Brian +1, or Brian -1, Lummy +1.
Oh, we know which way this is going to go. You leave it to
It's a jury of our peers, Brian. It's a jury.
Yeah, you know what, Brian? You make an interesting point.
Look, I'll take the -1. That wasn't my intention.
I wasn't
at all.
once, but I wasn't. I'm not prepared to give you one. I think you made a great point, but I also do think Lummy makes an interesting point by that he did kind of whistleblow you out there. You were begging for one, so like.
I was not at all. I was really just curious as to what the standings were.
You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and call it a push.
Nice. See?
There you go.
I feel good.
There you go. It's a push.
Neutral.
I don't want to because you're right, Brian. We can't refer to chat. I mean, chat is Lummy's.
They already said Brian -50. Brian minus the studio.
Oh, there you go. On a +2.
Brian
like
-100.
Yeah.
Oh, I got 1 +1 from
I've only seen one positive Brian.
Yeah.
Like they hate you. They hate you. But hold on. They hate you. And this isn't just go for chat. This is like the entire Bubba Army.
You're gonna say the entire world.
No, they
including your family.
Maybe, but I'm just saying, in the world that I live in, the Bubba Army, first of all, you do got a sleeper cell of hardcore fans. I hear from them on Twitter. I get the show email, Facebook comments. Direct messages on Facebook. So I do, correspond with some fans and get a little bit of feedback, not just from the council, but from just regular Bubba Army. And you got a little sleeper cell of support. You really do. And it tends to be female. Like it tends to be like, 30 to 50-year-old females, they love you. Like you got a little sleeper cell of female support, and then everybody else, man, they just really, 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 you get them churned up and they really kind of hate you, but they like you. They don't want me to get rid of you. They kind of like
They love to hate you.
They
hate watching.
Yeah, they love your schmarminess. They just love they don't like anything about you, but they find you amusing.
They love to hate you.
Yes. They love to hate you.
It's just like
Star Wars was only so good because they had the ultimate villain, right?
That's right.
I mean, how good of Star Wars if Darth Vader wasn't there? They wouldn't even have nothing.
Just be a love story
Yeah.
between a brother and a sister.
Yeah. Well,
Is that what it was?
yeah.
Well, I mean,
weren't they
Luke
brother?
and Leia kind of.
I don't even know. I never
saw
it.
one.
I saw one and
I
made no
never.
sense.
Hold on. I'm probably the only human being in this entire building that has never seen any Star Wars. I've never seen 5 minutes of Star Wars other than being on.
Serious?
I swear.
Yeah, I saw one movie like in the middle of a series, and I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I never saw the first Star Wars, and I never saw the last one, and I've never. Let me. You can put your fingers down. And Mommy, you're just so adorable.
Thank you, Bubba.
We were taking bets on the last time he did Scouts Honor. The over-under was 5 minutes. He hit the over.
I forgot to tell him, like, he doesn't put his fingers down until I literally tell him.
Yeah, he requests because his hand hurts.
Yeah, so, and I... And,
be like, Bubba, can I put him down?
And I see him over there with his little finger still up, and we were like 5 topics beyond the finger up deal, and he still got him up there, poor little thing. You're so precious.
Thank you, Bubba.
You really, really are. So anyway, I hate Jen Epstein,
right?
Because, and I forget what year it was.
2020.
They come up with this, and this is the teaser of the segment. So this was such a big segment, Brian, that they shot all 4 or 5 of them, and then made a teaser that they ran for a couple weeks, saying, "That's right, in a week, starting Monday, February whatever, we're gonna show you the legends of Tampa radio." To the point where they already had them all in the can, and they were, that's how big of a deal this is they got them all in the can, then made a little teaser and ran the teaser for a week, making it a big deal, like a 5-part series that you just don't want to miss. And that's kind of rare on local TV, that they have a 5-part series Monday through Friday, is it not?
Yeah, unless it's like 5 things that can kill you in your house.
Yeah, or whatever. And so the 5 radio legends, here's the teaser.
There's no way some of that stuff you could do now. There's no way. You'd be thrown in jail, but you'd certainly be thrown off the air.
I actually got out of my chair and opened the door, and I thank God to this day my chief engineer was standing there, and he caught me when I went down. And all I could think of was, I was so scared.
You don't want to be 40-something years old and have your kids have to tell people my dad is Cowhead. And my agent and I talked about it, and we were like, we should probably change it up now before it gets too far gone, and I'm so glad we did.
Well, we dated for 2 years, and she finally put the hammer down. Are we going to get married or not?
In 2005, when I had that accident and was able to come back from that and then get back on Q105, I felt like there was something special going on there.
So
there's no way.
So that was the teaser.
That?
It's an elephant, like an elephant, trying to choke a guy out.
I wish somebody could find me that footage.
Yeah, my brain was like, what?
I was thought it was a man making love to a fish in the hole of a wall.
That's what I thought.
Lemmy, are you awake? Are you okay, buddy? Your eyes look real droopy today. Are you okay? Did you go out gambling last night?
He was reading something.
Yeah, I was reading something. I'm sorry.
You know how hard it is for him to read.
Yeah.
Pop.
Everything has to shut down except his eyeballs.
Look at Jill and Jack run down the hill.
He's trying to sound out Mason Dixon.
Mawson. Mawson.
You never go full.
Dykeson.
Whoa, hey.
Diaxon.
You never go full Lummy.
Mason Diaxon. So They had it all lined up the day of my taping and the whole 9 yards, and Channel 13 was going to come in, and I was going to be one of these, and one of these legends of radio. And realistically, they had, Jack Harris, Mason Dixon, Ron Diaz, Ann Kelly, and Mike Calta. And if I'm not as legendary as, if I'm not as at least a legend, the number one guy I would say there, if I'm not number one, then I'm number two.
Ron.
It's behind Ron.
Yeah, that would be it.
So, I'm at least in the most conservative thing number two. Would you not agree?
Absolutely.
At least maybe number one.
You're number one, but I could see how a TV station would go with somebody like Ron Diaz for number one.
I do too. And so then they canceled me, lied to me, and then I'm like, okay, it's canceled. All of a sudden, I start seeing this teaser that they're going to do it.
Hey, wait a minute.
And Jen Epstein pulled her friendship card and got me canceled, and Mike Calta put in. Here's the piece. Oh, I'm sorry. Might as well go through all 4 of them because here's the payoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So, boom.
Good morning. It's AM Tampa Bay.
If you've lived in the Tampa
By
Bay
the way,
area,
retired. I think all of these, but is Ann Kelly still with them?
Last I heard, she is.
All right.
You know what? No, I think she retired.
Yeah,
she just,
I think so. I think all of the Ron retired. Ann Kelly retired. Mason Dixon retired. Jack. Out of these 5, only one still has a job.
I think Ann Kelly may do part-time stuff still.
Yeah, I think
I
on the
have no
Dove.
idea.
I think
She still does like
1.5
events and all that.
1.5 out of 5.
area for a while, then chances are you know Jack.
The Boys and Girls Clubs do an incredible job all across the country, but here in the Tampa Bay area too.
Jack Harris is a staple in local radio, bringing his humor and perspective to listeners bright and early on AM Tampa Bay.
If you believe that, you are just a little bit on the ignorant side. As we bring them the news in the morning, and then we kind of talk about it and give it a different slant sometimes. So we've been pretty successful in staying afloat.
His career in radio began in his home state of West Virginia.
Boom. There's Jack Harris.
Ann Kelly's still on.
Ann Kelly.
Full-time, yeah.
All right.
Dove website.
All right. So 2 out of 5 are
working 10 hours a week.
Three are gone. 2 are there. And I'm not playing all 2 minutes and 30 seconds of each one. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a feeling.
Just will add a little taste.
Just to give you a little feeling as to,
105.5, the Dove continuous light favorites. Good morning.
The voice is as much.
These people, and these people are more legendary than the guy that has been syndicated across America.
Here's the thing.
And worked for Howard Stern.
She did nothing to change or advance the radio industry, other than maybe being a female in a time when it was a male-dominated industry. But nobody thinks of great radio and goes, oh, Ann Kelly. Those breaks that she did in 1987 were amazing.
They should have picked the sports babe.
Yeah, that's a little bit more.
Yeah, or the Hooters on the Hooters on the radio girls.
Look at how ahead of their time we're now with all these sports chicks everywhere.
Right, the Hooters on the radio girl, that the original Hooters on the radio, or the sports babe. That should have been if you had to throw a female in there.
Was the sports babe one chick?
She was one girl, and she was based out of I don't know where, but she was her. I think she might have been based out of Tampa.
She was based out of Tampa,
and she was
a sports show.
She was one of the very first singular sport. She
was she good though? Honestly,
yeah,
okay.
She was pretty good.
She knew her stuff for back then too.
Part of Tampa Bay is a good sunset.
But she's the one that broke the glass ceiling, and talking about sports has to be for men. Broadcasting wise, she broke the glass ceiling in that. She should be given credit for that.
Hope that your day goes by as fast as mine did this morning.
Ann Kelly's been on local radio airwaves for 32 years.
And I know that's probably unheard of these days. So I think I'm on
I'm looking on year 37 here. Appreciate it.
the endangered species list.
Oh, not 37 here, but all right. So that's Ann Kelly. Here's Ron and Ron. This is Ron Diaz.
Once I got here, I never wanted to leave.
He landed at WYNF, where he worked his way up to music director.
Bon Jovi, the song Runaway. We were, I think, the second station in the country to play the song Runaway. We were real tight. We were tied in together with the audience. the bands and the radio station. I mean, I was there all day, and it didn't seem like work. It's like, they're paying me for this? This is awesome.
It's where the Ron and Ron Show with co-host Ron Bennington was born.
As close to the edge as you can get without going over the edge.
Listeners loved it.
The country was pretty wild at the time, so there were really no rules. And
I kind of came in on the backside of that. I was the last guy to kind of continue the Ron and Ron stuff.
It took it to the next level.
Audiences grew on the radio and at their wild live shows.
12, 15,000 people show up at 6 a.m.
Ron's most memorable live show, Russia, right after the Cold War ended.
It was still basically a communist country, and KGB and all the things.
And again, so I think you can put that guy ahead of me. I am into Russia. Here's Mason Dixon. This is his story. These are the 5 legends of Tampa radio. This is why this all originally started on when I just saw Jen Epstein on TV, and she looks great, and I like
She's
her,
beautiful.
and I like her, but she did me dirty. And when I was supposed to be part of this series, she canceled me and put her friend Mike Calta in. And so far, guess what, Anna? She hasn't done any of these. Like out of the 3, it's all been by Lloyd Sowers.
Hour of the 80s and more.
For so many listeners, Mason Dixon isn't just a familiar
I think this was Laura Moody.
voice.
Q105 is WRBQ HD1 Tampa.
He's their longtime friend.
So actually, Anna, they may have assigned him to 5 different reporters to give it a different flair. And Jen Epstein was assigned me, and she said, I will not do him. I'll do Mike Calta.
That's what radio does. You reach right through that speaker to those folks and let them know, I'm here.
By the way, fired. This guy just got fired.
His voice is great, though.
For more
They
than
brought him
4
back on a
decades,
part-time
he has
basis.
commanded the microphone.
Where?
Q105, he does
on
one show
Tampa Bay
every
Area
weekend.
radio waves.
How old is he?
And
Pushing 80, I
sometimes
think.
the stage with legendary music artists.
And I actually had a chance one time at the Sundome to sit in and play guitar on a couple of songs with the Beach Boys.
All right, so
Beach Boys.
He's Uncle Jesse all of a sudden.
all these radio guys, it's like what I've got to do, and this and all this. Man, I mean, Brian, all the things I got involved in would have been far more salacious than I got to sit in and play acoustic guitar with the Beach Boys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, please. All right, so here's the final one. This was supposed to be me. And so, Anna, it looks like
That's not me.
They assigned, when Jen Epstein they told Jen Epstein, hey, we're doing a Legends of Radio. Laura Mooney's doing one. Lloyd Sowers is doing one. I don't know who did the other one. And your guy, the one you're going to do is Bubba the Love Sponge. Because that, Brian, that's how it happens. The news directors, they assign what news story you're covering.
Yep.
And it was told to me that she said, no, I'd rather do Mike Calta. He's a friend of mine. I think he's more, and I think Bubba sucks.
It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 1025 The Bone 2020.
Yeah, aliens.
Aliens.
Yeah?
It's a year we finally made contact with aliens.
All right.
Was it always your
Great radio, huh?
dream to be on the radio?
No, I wanted to be on TV like you, but then I realized I was way too ugly. And don't lie to me, Jen Epstein, because that is the truth. Somebody looked at me and said he's too ugly. He's very funny and very...
Really?
No, I just imagine behind the scenes they say that.
Mike Calta's been laughing and entertaining audiences at the Bone since 2007.
I say, believe it or not, he is not the baby's daddy, and here's why.
But Tampa
We're playing baby daddy games.
Bay has been his home since his career started in 1989 at WFLZ.
Very rare that a radio guy gets to stay in one market. I'm very lucky.
And
You're very lucky that
Very rare that they never advance their career. Yep.
Yep, very rare. And it's very, very that you find a sex tape that you send to Gawker. It's very rare that you are given your morning job based on taking it away from the guy that got you in the business.
Time, the popular morning show host has seen his audience grow along with the city of Tampa.
The best restaurant to go to after you went to a show was Denny's in '89. And now we have great restaurants. We have a downtown. I mean, this place.
It's about food.
This is growing. I'm not going anywhere.
Calta credits the success of the show to its broad appeal.
Galvin and I are the same age, but Spanish and Carmen are considerably younger. Joe from Bone TV is considerably older. So we've got a little of all the age groups, and that certainly helps. And I find out that we have a lot of doctors that are listening and a lot of lawyers that are listening, and there's politicians that will come with me on the side.
Yeah.
So far, nothing about his career,
Right.
anything notable that he's done,
Nope.
anything that he's done to
Nope.
change the face of
Nope.
Tampa radio
Nope.
at all.
Nope. Just the lucky break that he got to get in.
The other people were on the air in Tampa for 30 to 40 years. He's had
7.
a morning show for 12 at this point.
And tell me that they're big fans, like
Or
they're
a
doing
show.
something wrong.
No, he's been on mornings.
This is 2019, you said, right?
2015 was his first full year.
Okay.
Tracy Morgan is his favorite interview. David Letterman and Howard Stern are his dream interviews.
Mm-hmm. I've met them both and worked for one. Right?
Yeah.
The guy that you're making the legend, his dream interviews, I worked for and have met the other one.
But he says the best ones can be the train wrecks.
We had fights with Gallagher and most recently Michael Rappaport.
I'm famous for doing what?
Well, you used to be famous for being a good actor, and now you're famous for being a whiner.
It's fun stuff like that you go back and you replay. You don't always replay the good ones, you replay the bad ones, which is fun for us.
As for the famous feud with
hold on.
And they find the worst picture.
Famous feud with Calta's former boss, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
Yeah.
The guy I was supposed to interview. Look at her shake her head. Just look at how she
What do you think of that guy?
And she pulls back.
What?
Yeah.
Any contact with him anymore?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He's not my... No.
Do you think that helped or hurt your career?
Well, I worked with him for 6 years, and I've worked without him for 20 years. So, I've made more money. I've made a name for myself. The best thing that ever happened is I got away.
Through it all, Mike keeps perspective on how...
That's how we're spinning it.
He got away.
You got away with it, all right.
The one that got away, Bubba.
Yeah.
I was a really poor kid when I was growing up. We were really poor. So I've been saying I'm rich since I was making 30 grand a year. I have a great life, and it could be gone at any second in this business.
Because I got so many things to give away. I'm going to take Vince. Good morning, Vince. How are you, sir?
Always thinking of the AM traffic-bound listeners on the receiving end of those laughs.
I've never had to drive in traffic in this town because of my hours that I work, either mornings or afternoons, but the occasional time I get stuck in it, I lose my mind, and I think these people are counting on us to keep them happy, keep them informed, and get them in a good mood before they go to work. And I hope when they turn off the radio, they go inside and tell somebody about something they just heard. That's the best compliment.
Yeah, they're going to let you know who won Sporkle.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a great day. We'll see you guys tomorrow after shows are next. Goodbye.
Imagine hosting. So screw you, Jen Epstein. I truly would like it to do that, but you backstabbing bitch. Anna, wouldn't you be mad if that?
I've been a lot mad over far less, so I get it.
Here's what Brian was talking about here, and should we do this? I think we could do this today.
There's a lot of laws, by the way.
With you, I think we could go, but then wait for the family section for Gina.
Whatever.
Because this is big. This is big news.
There's still more coming potentially.
Okay, well,
yeah.
But skip the family stuff. What the hell is that?
Pre-roll.
Yeah.
Pre-roll ad.
Hey, Mach, on that new computer you buy me, can you put an ad blocker gimmick in there or something? Yeah. Because I need it. The new laws, more than 200 new Florida laws taking effect July 1st. We're going to wade through a few of them.
Find a safe place and stay there.
The four horsemen of the apocalypse asked him for advice.
Oh, God.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
I think tzatziki is...
What about hummus?
Hummus is not a
Oh,
condiment.
what do you think about chickpeas and fucking falafel?
Yeah, I know you can use it as such, but I think hummus is more of a dip than it is. It's a
Brian talks like a bitch.
Thank you, Bubba.
You and I be talking about
You gotta take the insults as if they were compliments.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
We be talking about man shit.
You're the dumbest person I've ever seen.
He's not talking about man shit. Over here talking about hummus and tzatziki.
Yeah, tzatziki in your poop ass. I'll never try that. I hate chickpeas. But I love garbanzo beans, oddly enough.
Anna, do you go around the house being me?
We covered
I
this.
sing in my car as you.
Her and Chris have intimate moments as you.
I'm getting close.
Oh yeah, right there. Don't stop.
Is it your alter ego for when you want to say something that you don't want to have to take credit for, that you can be me?
Yeah.
I mean, is that how I got? Is that how I broke it down? Yeah. Did I break it down correctly?
You really did. So easier to say things as you.
Or
that wasn't me.
Or this just to go through your whole Bubba routine.
Yeah. It's just so fun.
Do you do Bubba routines at home?
Yeah, but everyone is you. Like, even when I impersonate my mom, she is you as well.
For real.
Are you coming home for Christmas?
You better wear a mask and take 3.
He doesn't care about opinion polls and research studies.
Oh, I feel safer already.
He's more concerned about getting a hot porn star for a mix-in with his wife.
Okay, good, because I want to have sex.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Let me out hear the same stuff.
Well, Macho says he'll say, with us updating the systems, it usually gets reset.
Yeah,
when
right.
we change things up.
Mm-hmm.
We should record new ones of the on-air cast of characters doing bumpers.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go ahead. Go ahead. Hold on.
Great idea.
Brian doing bumpers. Take one and action. I mean, Anna, who brought this up?
Brian.
All right. Well, that's not.
Baby
When you bring something up, you be ready for it. Make it a segment. I got a whole nother segment about the hot mic, but I'll put that on hold. Brian, you got an ingenious segment idea. Take it away. Cut one.
Will he be talking about his rattler or hose going? I messed it up.
He doesn't use his rattler anymore, though.
I know.
All right, Brian, attempting to do some bumpers. Take two.
I mean, I meant write them out and be ready to do them.
Oh, okay.
I didn't mean on the spot in mid-show.
Oh, you can't. You're not smart. I can do it. Somebody can
Go,
do
Bubba,
I can
go.
do it, no problem.
Bubba, go. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Literal mic drop.
Break it up.
That's like asking Michael Jordan to shoot a free throw. Bitch, it's just implied I'm going to be able to nail it, okay?
I don't even need to show you guys.
I mean, honest to God.
Yeah, I have a girlfriend. She goes to another school.
Hold on. What if you're
I made
a rookie?
that joke 2 days ago.
What if you're a
I
rookie?
missed it.
What if you're a rookie at the Bulls camp and you go, "Hey, Michael, you can't hit a free throw."
You won't.
Everybody in the entire team. Phil Jackson would first of all have Dennis Rodman gouge your eyes out.
Be even funnier if it was one of those summer camps that he does.
Yeah.
Like the basketball camps, there's 100 kids in the gym.
Right. Some little toothy ass kid from Carrollwood goes, "Bet you can't make a free throw, Michael Jordan."
He kind of did that. He did it to OJ Mayo.
I will say doing an unscripted, good quality Chris
Wisniewski,
bumper is
$150.
He said if you want, just call him Cracker
three-quarter
Chris.
shot.
Cracker
That's
Chris.
That's a three-quarter shot. That ain't no free throw.
Just shut up.
All right.
Because you got me completely, I'm completely off of what I was trying to get at.
You were just trying to yell at Ian Lemmy. And
I just wanted to talk about ketchup.
Yeah, let's get into that.
No, I want to get into this, Lummy.
Yeah.
I want Rhett to take. Now, this is a long-term project. This doesn't have to happen this is a long-term deal. But the last hot mic we just had, the last break we just took, that particular hot mic segment was just chocked full of just unbelievable funny stuff that I wish and you know what, guys, I don't know that we could even emulate it if we tried to. It was just so spontaneously funny, and I now have a better understanding. Anna really is obsessed with me. She wants to know what I'm. She wants to know what I'm eating.
When you're
she wants to.
when you're pooping.
Yesterday she had a conversation. She was like, "Hey, I heard the Merch Crick listening to another show one day, and she's just so kabukied out. She's just so.
I got my head on a swivel.
Yeah, she's just shot out.
Well, I'm trying to, put things together around here. No one tells me anything.
And so she goes into this whole big Bubba rendition where she'll be Bubba and then she'll be the next guy answering, but as me. And then she even said, she'll talk to her mom and she'll go into me.
No. I will impersonate my mother if I'm telling someone else a story about her, and then I'll be like, "Oh yeah," and then my mom was like, "So when are you come home for Christmas? What's going on with that?"
My mom doesn't talk like that at all.
No, that's me.
That's you.
But then, so you do that, other people, and then you will be yourself as me, and that usually is when you want to say something inappropriate that you don't want to really personally say, so you go into character as me, and it's the same as saying it, but you can't. It's not really pinned on you because you were in Bubba character.
I didn't say that.
Right.
You said that.
And then you get into this whole big where you impersonate me as to what I would say and what you said, what you just went through, like my day's routine, starting with and I know you and Brian were talking about it.
He asked about your feeding schedule, and I know it precisely.
And you broke it right on down.
I did.
And so, Lummy, we need to get that hot mic segment. I know that it's.
I don't even think I said a bad word either.
I think the quality, obviously, people are going to have to work with us on the quality because it's not broadcast quality. It's more like in a room kind of feel. But we need to make that a break or do something because it was so funny. Oh my God, it was so funny.
I wrote it down.
You did?
Yes, I did.
What's the current score keep at? Like, what's the score at? Because I've been throwing -2s and +5s.
I think I got it.
Going
I
crazy.
think I got it. Can I try it without keeping track? Mach is +2.
Hold on. Are you looking at this?
I'm dead even.
Yes. Well, you're supposed to go from.
Sorry. Yeah. Rhett's -2. Lummy's -1. Anna's -1. I'm neutral, 0, and Mach is +2.
Is he correct?
Yes. Yes, he is.
I think he wants a point for that.
I think he should get one. Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
So there's this story about Heinz ketchup, and I am absolutely, out of everybody in this room, nobody probably lives their life for ketchup more than me.
I used to. I used to be way worse than you.
I used to be
disgusting.
I used to be right there with. I dipped. I would love dipping Lay's chips in ketchup.
I put ketchup on my pizza.
I put ketchup. I would dip tomatoes in ketchup and
I don't
eat
like
them
tomatoes,
like that.
but
I know. I don't like tomatoes, but I love ketchup.
Every vegetable.
Probably the only thing that I never put ketchup on was my cereal.
Well,
I never put ketchup. No, but I'm just saying like that. I think there are people that put ketchup on their cereal, but I was, eggs and everything.
Anything with that was a starch or bread.
And so
mashed potatoes, bloody ketchup, bloody potatoes.
So when we talk about ketchup, then you two. Anna and Brian, you guys have an affection for ketchup. So
I used to. I was raised in a home where we never ran out. My dad always had 4 extras ready to go.
That sounds like me.
Anna's against it now because it's not healthy.
It had so much sugar. It was one of my dad's biggest regrets because we all became addicted to it. Everything tasted bland without it. It completely messed up our palates.
All of his obese kids.
Your dad's just. You know what? That's why your dad and I get along so well because I'm the same way.
You guys are ketchup marks.
Oh my God, I've continued.
He isn't anymore, but he used to be.
But here's the deal.
For like 20 years.
The big hubbub, the big question is, should ketchup be served refrigerated or room temperature? And everybody that likes ketchup has an opinion on this. And my opinion is this, and I think this was Heinz. I'm sorry. Yeah, this was Heinz's official answer, and that is ketchup can be served at room temperature when it's first opened, and then after opening, it must be refrigerated.
Cosign.
Yes. That's how I am with ketchup.
You need a pre-refrigerated.
I want it pre-refrigerated though. Yeah. I don't want that first warm ketchup blast.
Hold on.
With all the
Hold on, Brian.
You gotta shake it.
Hold on. I prefer at home when I can control my own destiny. I always have a bottle of cold ketchup. And when one's running low, I put another one in there,
backup Willie,
so that I never have to have warm ketchup. That being said, though, sometimes at restaurants and things like that, you get warm ketchup.
You can hand it to them and say, put it in the freezer the second you get there. Say, put this bottle of ketchup in the freezer for me. Put it on ice.
Put it on ice for me.
In fact, get me a champagne bucket.
I wonder if there's. I
need some ice stat.
I wonder if there's some ketchup marks that take ketchup to the whole nother level. When they walk into a restaurant, they have their cooler of ketchup so that they have cold ketchup.
Oh, I know people who keep packets in their purse or pocket.
Is there anything more frustrating or aggravating than going to a restaurant and ordering nice hot French fries and having an off-brand ketchup that you have to use?
or
this chunky red disgusting paste.
You know what's worse? In Canada and Australia, they don't have ketchup. They have tomato sauce, and it is always room temperature, and it is gross.
So why Heinz hasn't broke into the Australian market, or they don't allow it, or what?
I think they do, but they just prefer. Listen, they eat like Vegemite, Marmite, like weird stuff like that. So yeah, they're into weird stuff.
So anyway, I think we kind of probably pretty much that's the way everybody feels.
Well, I'll say this too. I have become an extra snob now, and I only eat the Simply Heinz, which is cane sugar. No, and not high fructose corn syrup. It's cane sugar only in the Simply Heinz.
Well, I get my good friend Rob from Canada. He sends me down a case of Canadian ketchup every year, and that lasts me. I go through about a bottle a month. I think he sends me 24 bottles. Maybe he sends me 12. I don't know. I think he sends me 12.
Yeah,
it's usually about 12 because I can pick them up from him.
Yeah, and so anyway, I got a little bit of a surplus. Well, Canadian ketchup, Canadian Heinz is made with sugar. Canadian Heinz has far less ingredients in it than the American Heinz.
Well, the Simply is probably the equivalent here, and you do pay a premium for it, and they rarely put it on BOGO at Publix, but it's worth the extra money.
Can you taste the difference?
Yes. We can do a taste test on air.
So anyway, I think they're good. We can move past that big topic. We've talked about malaria and ketchup today. Those
if
are
you like
most
warm ketchup, you're a weirdo.
Yeah, like if you're now hold on. You're a regular ketchup dude like us if you can take warm ketchup because you got to.
Yeah. Well, sometimes when there's only packets available,
right?
You have
like
to work
when you're still going to put ketchup on whatever you put ketchup on, even if it's warm. You'd prefer it to be chilled.
Yeah.
But you're really a weirdo. Like if you are like, I prefer it warm.
Yeah.
Then you're stupid.
You need help.
It's one thing we can agree. You're stupid.
Well, it's just I don't know. I don't get it. Like it doesn't taste better. And the nice thing about cold ketchup is you can get flaming hot right out of the fryer French fries,
and it takes it down 10.
And it takes it down, and you can start eating them.
Yeah. That's a nice contrast when you got some
the best.
Yeah. Bubba, how do you feel about ketchup flavored stuff? Like ketchup flavored chips?
They can't capture it.
Right?
Yeah, it's not the same.
No.
It's like watermelon flavored anything.
And I hate anybody that a lot of times fans will send me ketchup, Pringles and ketchup.
Lay's.
Can I tell you, I'm not trying to be unappreciative, but when we get gifts from fans and stuff, a lot of great stuff. Most of the stuff is great. We get from you people. So thank you. And don't forget I wear 3X if you want me to wear your shirt. Send me a 3X, bitch.
Skinny 3X, though.
No, don't say skinny.
No, I mean, you are a skinny 3X.
But don't tell them to send me a skinny 3X.
Send me a 3X slim fit.
No, send me a 3X 100% cotton Gildan Willie thick.
Because I got nips.
Because,
they're hard.
Are your nips always cotton?
Anna, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Are you,
Am I obsessed with you? Yes.
No. I don't think you're obsessed with me, but I think there's a couple things about me that you're obsessed with. One, emulating me.
Yes.
And then the other one are my nipples. I think that you are obsessed with my nipples.
I've never met a man with more aggressive nipples.
And I think it intrigues you.
It does.
I mean, like
They're always looking at me, and I look back.
I think you're a mark for my nipples.
I think I am.
I mean, for real.
I am.
I mean, can you imagine, Brian, like this be the normal workplace? So, how you ask a 35-year-old woman, so tell me about your boss. Well, I like to emulate him all the time, and I'm obsessed with his nipples.
He's got beautiful nipples.
Can you imagine, Anna, if you were at your bachelorette gimmick in Boise, Idaho?
I was, and a few stories were shared.
But I guarantee you that you didn't disclose the guy that you work for. You're deep downly obsessed with emulating him. You go into just at various times, trying to be him rants, and you are absolutely just 100% enamored with his nipples.
I may have omitted that part.
They would be like, this bitch is crazy, and who is this dude?
Right. I have to, unveil myself slowly to people.
So Anna is right in the fact that I have to wear thicker T-shirts, or sometimes two, because my nipples are just so...
They're like dairy aisle nipples.
I just...
Hard.
Do you notice that about me? Like, Brian, do you notice
I have never noticed your nipples, but I'm not looking for them.
Okay.
No, it's not a lie.
Well, they're looking for you.
Lummy, what do you think about my nipples? Are my nipples aggressive?
Yeah, I mean they're always out there. I don't look you in the eyes, so that's the next place I look is your nipples. So they're like eyeballs, technically, looking at me. So realistically,
look at your dong or your nipples.
I don't look at your eyes. I look at your nipples. In what work environment can you tell your boss that? And it be let me give yourself a pop. Right. Give yourself a pop. Hello.
Hey, Lummy, I'm up here, buddy.
Hello.
It's hard to look.
Got a legal question for Brian.
All right, he's a lawyer.
Talking about nips, man.
Hey, Brian, I moved out of the rental the other day, and the landlord wanted me out early, and I left, and things that needed to get done to get my security deposit weren't completed, but she gave me back my security deposit because I left early. And now she's calling back going, hey, these things aren't fixed. And in an email, I have her saying, I just want you out. And I said, you're going to accept the house the way that it is. And she said, okay. And now she's trying to come back. Am I going to be liable for anything or no?
Well, I don't practice in real estate. Where are you located?
In Lee County.
Okay, so I don't do real estate, but if you have it in writing that she's waiving any issue with any sort of deposit, security deposit or repairs or anything, and in exchange for you leaving early, which I doubt she reimbursed you the rent that you paid for the month, because typically you pay.
Nope.
Yeah, you prepay. So the argument that you have to make, I would think, would be that that she accepted the terms of you leaving early, that you left early to your own detriment, and that the exchange for that, the consideration that you gave, was her agreeing to accept the house in an as-is condition.
Yeah, and that's what I told her. I'm not done with the things that need to be done.
You know what you should do? You know what you should do, buddy? You know what you should do? Because Brian is he's a personal injury and attorney. That's the type of attorney you are, right, Brian?
Yes.
But you are so well-rounded on even being able to draft letters outside of your specialty and sound real good and legal enough to get people to leave you alone. I mean, do you not agree? Like, how many times you've had to take care of one of my issues that was not in your wheelhouse, and you completely got him to leave me alone?
Almost all of them, and
almost daily.
even like making a waiver for a 50-foot stripper pole. Like, that doesn't exist. You don't go online and find a form for that.
No, and I think you were one of the people that also were instrumental in drawing up my 2257 agreements.
Yes, and I also did the releases and waivers on Hogan's jet skis, and I did the release and waiver when you had some sort of motocross in your parking lot.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I did a lot. of stuff.
So listen, where do you live, sir?
Lee County.
I would call Brian up after and say, listen, man, you know what? $300, $400, $500. Could you write me a real fancy ass letter?
I don't even charge the Bubba Army for favors like this. My advice is this.
No, but I mean, he'd pay a couple $100 for you to whip up a letter, couldn't you?
Email. I don't take people's money like that, but email her.
I would.
I know.
But say Venmo us, and we'll make Brian do it.
Hold on. As much as you guys want to play me, can I play Brian Matroni once?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. This is what you should be doing, Brian. Sir, you know what? You're very much. I got a lot of things. I think all that real legal schmarmy stuff that Brian was saying earlier.
Yeah.
This and that, and I think I could probably write you up a letter that you send to these people and to this landlord, and she completely will leave you alone. And you're correct on this. And when she gets served this paper and all the legal schmiegel, because I'm an attorney, she's going to pack sand and leave you alone. And I could probably draw that thing up for you for $200-$300. You want me to do that for you, bud?
Sure.
See, I mean, you price them right there, Brian. Where like, man, that ain't much, $200-$300, and that makes me this whole thing go away. Hell yeah.
The payoff
deposit was only $5.
Yeah, the payoff for me is.
Oh, I'm sorry. The payoff was only $5. No, you know what? I'll tell you what, buddy. The payoff was $5. So I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead. Give me $150. Give me a $1.50.
I already got it all back. That's the question.
Yeah,
give me a $1.50 and I'll draw you up something fancy.
My advice is this: email her with your position. Look, the consideration for me leaving early was you accepting the house in as-is condition. You clearly agreed with that when you returned my security deposit in full. I'm not going to pay for any damages, and see how she responds. And then if she responds in aggressive manner, then I can send her a letter on your behalf and say, look, ma'am,
And sir, now you have to re-listen to the show and write down all that stuff that Brian just told you to write down, because I know that you can't remember it. And
I think he's got this. He sounds like a smart guy.
So do that, and then if she turns into a bitch and it starts escalating after that letter, call up Brian. Maybe he'll whip something up for you.
And then it turns the way I want to get paid back is just with if you ever know somebody who's hurt or needs a divorce or whatever, you call my firm. That's all.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Well, the next family member that takes a lick, I'll send your way. I already sent one to Jay.
That needs to be your new advertising campaign, Brian. The next family member that takes a lick, give me a call.
Send them my way. That's actually
Brian
pretty awesome.
Matroni.
Yeah.
The next family member that takes a lick, send them my way. Babyface Matroni.
I appreciate it, guys.
I mean, look, sometimes, Brian, you got to shake up the market in order to get you right.
That's it, man.
I mean, remember when, size matters and, all the stuff that Morgan & Morgan comes up with, right?
Yep.
The next family member that takes a lick or gets tweaked, because that could be hurt, right? Because you just don't want to deal with people that are dying. You want people that just got in a car wreck.
Yeah.
And, so
you can take a lick and not die, though,
listen,
right?
you want the next guy's wife who gets hit by an Amazon truck running a red light and she's hurt. You'd like to have him call you, would you not?
Yep.
If you could draw up the most perfect, based on knowing the people that settle, this is really just kind of a hypothetical question. And so, don't take too much credence, people, as to what I'm trying to say here, okay? But what I'm saying, Brian, I'm not pinning this on you, Brian, as to you would, but we're playing a game here. Based on knowing the insurance companies that go to trial, the ones that settle, the ones that pay the best, the ones that are most, like your whole world, you have, these some people that are difficult and some people that aren't with regards to insurance carriers and adjusters and all that kind of deal, right?
Right.
And you kind of have a general idea as to what particular insurance company is going to fight you hard on it and which ones lay down.
So
right?
It vacillates. It's kind of interesting because historically State Farm has been the worst. Over the last year, State Farm has been the best. And Allstate has turned into the worst to deal with now.
All right, so you know all that.
Yes.
So what would be the most absolute, like Powerball case for you? Would it be? Can I give you a scenario and you tell me if this would be like a Powerball case?
Sure.
A Publix truck was speeding through an intersection and ran a red light that happened to be cameraed up. The intersection that he ran is cameraed, and T-boned a woman in her minivan with her children, and their children suffered well, let's just be honest. 2 kids died, and mom is not doing so good. She has all kinds of damage, and both kids died, and it was a Publix truck. And he ran through the red light, exceeding the speed limit by 9 miles per hour.
I mean, if we're going to get very dark and morbid here, remember, I don't want that to happen to anybody.
We're playing a game. We're playing a game.
We're playing a game.
We're playing legal Powerball.
If we were playing a game.
Personal injury legal Powerball.
You want those kids to survive but need an extensive life care plan.
Okay. So both kids are just, really messed up and they're going to be in wheelchairs and all corked out for the rest of their life. And mama is hurt pretty bad too, right?
Or passes away.
Or passes away.
Because now you have to have a trust set up for those kids and guardians.
Mama takes
they have in addition to their injuries, they now have a claim for potentially, if mom's married or not, for wrongful death as a survivor.
Yeah, so what if mama's single because dad passed away
Oh my gosh!
Hold on.
First of all, it's upsetting to think about.
I know, but listen.
I'm saying it's upset. Like I, as a father now, and on this note.
By the way, as a disclaimer, I'd like to just say it one more time, and I may say it 10 more times, just to cover our asses. But that Brian's legal license, more importantly. But that is, we are playing a make-believe game called Personal Injury Attorney Personal Injury Powerball. That's a game we're playing right now. What game are we playing?
The made-up personal legal Powerball game.
I just literally, within a second, had just finished what exactly we were calling it, and I recall to you, and you cannot recite it.
Personal legal attorney Powerball?
That's personal injury legal Powerball.
I took the legal out.
Oh,
now we're just it's personal injury Powerball.
They got me all messed up.
Personal injury Powerball.
Made up.
On an unrelated note, I would like to. Today is my parents' 49th wedding anniversary, so I would like to wish them a happy anniversary.
You think they'll do it tonight?
Maybe we're sending them. We sent them away to Daytona Beach for the weekend.
Brian,
eaten by a shark.
Like, for real, do you think your parents are going to do it tonight?
I don't know. I don't care.
No, like, for real.
Like for real, I don't know.
I know, but for real, like, if you have to.
Sure, Bubba, they're going to go.
No, don't patronize me. And act like, how old are your parents?
74 and 72.
No, they're prune juicing and watching Jeopardy.
You don't think he's going to take a Cialis when he's driving over?
Pops is prune juicing, and Mama's playing crossword puzzles, and they'll be in bed by 7.
You know, my mom's still, she has RA, fibromyalgia, and cancer, so it's not like they're out partying hard.
No, okay, I'm so sorry.
I'm just saying.
They won't be doing it.
Are you going to do a big party next year?
We're going to have to, right?
The big
5-0.
All right, so back to our game before we go into words. We're so far late. And that is, we're playing make-believe personal injury attorney Powerball. Make-believe.
Hypothetical.
Nope. It's
make-believe.
2 make-believe sandwiches. See, so it's make-believe personal injury Powerball make-believe. So, Lummy, what are we playing?
Make-believe personal injury Powerball make-believe.
There you go. All right, Brian. So you got a Publix truck, and he's going 15 mile an hour over the speed limit.
He's wasted.
And he's got prior infractions. They kept him on.
He's got a prior infraction, and he might have a little weed in his system. And he blows through the stoplight, an intersection, Dale Mabry and Kennedy, that's fully cambered up. Like, it's completely cambered up, so there's no whodunit. Like, you got the footage and everything.
Well, I'll say this: those intersections that have cameras, they very, very rarely have servers that actually save the video. Most of them are live action cameras.
I'll better you. The Publix truck
has an onboard camera, which it probably does.
It does. Yeah. So Publix truck has an onboard camera, and it just happened to be this intersection.
You could see the smoke billowing.
All the cameras were working, and you were able to attain every angle possible for this one. Again, it's Powerball. This one particular case, you got all the state footage, you got the Publix truck footage, you got the cops, and so it was a mom, and she had 2 kids. Now the mom just 2 years ago lost her husband to prostate cancer.
Oh, Jesus!
So she's a single mom. 43 years old.
This is the
earner too.
Ever.
She's an earner,
right? She's
a professional,
right? She's a professional. And, she makes like $150 a year. She's very successful. Maybe, you know what? She took over her husband's thriving business. Yes. Yeah. Took over her dead husband's business. She does pretty good. She gets killed. And the 2 kids are like bam for the rest of their life.
Quadriplegic.
Yes. Double quadriplegic, little boy, little girl.
Okay.
This is fun.
You got like you're going through these scenarios. Okay, you got negligence, you got survival, case law, you got guardian ad litems, you got like trust funds, way of life funds, no more pervert. So go ahead, take it from here.
That's got to be in that scenario. You've got Publix, you've got their umbrella policy, and you have the potential for I mean, just
and what if she? And by the way, mom is fully insured to the absolute tilt.
Well, yeah, but even her insurance is going to be pittance. Whatever an individual policy is going to be, most likely is pittance. You're getting, in that scenario, you're getting
$100 million
out of Publix.
$100 million.
Depending, I mean, think about it. I think the report was Tracy Morgan got like 70 or 90 or 100 million himself.
Yeah, 70. And Tracy Morgan. So it's a very Tracy Morgan-ish, but even darker, even worse.
Yeah, it's way worse.
Way
That's
worse.
Way bad.
That's where Tracy Morgan got 70 million, and this is 5 times worse than Tracy Morgan's.
Yeah. I mean, the numbers, depending on how aggravating the circumstances were, let's say the driver was drunk and that he, the people that he delivered to, his last delivery for Publix, reported to Publix, hey, this guy smelled a little bit like alcohol, and you have, that evidence. Oofa. I mean, that's just
You're
the sky's the limit.
Punitive Willie at that point.
Sky's the limit at that point. Yeah.
Didn't some of the tobacco settlements get into the billions?
Yeah.
Like I wonder what's the I wonder what the largest collectible verdict has ever in our
verdict or
our,
settlement.
Settlement. Like I wonder because verdict
$206 billion. That was the tobacco master settlement.
Oh.
So I mean that was what was paid.
$206 billion.
Right. Like Hogan, he won $141 million, but he only took home about 35 of it.
The next closest ever, get this, is the BP oil spill in Gulf of Mexico, $20 billion. So 10 times larger than any other class action, settlement, which is where you would get into the billions.
Who got the money with the Gulf?
They made a fund, remember, and you would get an attorney, and your attorney would apply for funds and produce showing loss of revenue during that time, and then the attorney's fees would come out of that, and then whatever the business loss.
Or you would just settle for $20,000.
Who would get?
Or you could just take a lump sum with no attorney.
Who was the most people affected by that? Like
Floridians, restaurants, hotels.
I'm talking about restaurants right on the beach, seafood restaurants, things like that.
Yeah, the Panhandle is the worst.
Yeah, restaurants, hotels, mini golf courses up there. Anything that relied on tourist industry and the fishing
people
industry.
People coming to the beaches and things like that.
The fishing industry hit pretty hard. I'm sure Lummy got more than $20,000 out of that.
The Hooters waitresses up in Destin got about 60. I think they said about 65,000 each.
Hold on, the Hooters waitresses,
in Destin,
who was able to prove that there's not as many men coming in here ordering grouper sandwiches.
Yep.
Because nobody's fishing. The town's a ghost town, and the Hooters waitress. Imagine what the guy who owned 3 fishing boats got.
A lot,
right?
Yeah.
Like a Frank Chevis or somebody like that had 7 or 8 or 9 seafood restaurants that are all catered by his seafood, boats. Doesn't Frank Chevis have like a whole seafood company?
Yeah.
That after he stocks up his restaurants, all the other stuff he sells to other restaurants?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very large, ain't it?
Yes, it is. I think Florida Bama, which is one of the restaurants up there, they own like 3. I think they said they got like 16 or 17 million.
Really?
Yeah. Which is pretty good.
I need something like that.
Yeah.
But Brian, man, you get one of those, man, you don't have to ever work again.
I mean, you invest wisely. I mean, especially back when that happened. That was what, 2007?
So $4.02 billion.
I don't remember. When was it?
What do you think the law firm that drew? I mean, what do you think the law firm that drew that up got on the largest verdict?
Oh, Steve Yared was a part of it. I mean, the attorney's fees were in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh, this local guy, Steve Yared, was part, and I think Morgan & Morgan was part of it. Were they not?
I don't know on the tobacco class action that they were,
because that was so long ago.
Steve Yared was, was one of the main attorneys, and it was very political because he's very connected politically, and so he was able to get appointed to that massive litigation.
How does that work? How do they pick what attorneys get to try? I mean, because every attorney is going to try to jump on and file one. So how do they get does the system pick which attorneys get to do this? Because if not, you'd have, how many different attorneys, 100 million people that smoke, however many people that smoke or die.
So it was a $3.4 billion attorney fee award in that case. And Steve Yared was one of the attorneys who got to share in it. And
how many total attorneys were in that case?
There were a lot. I'm trying to find out how many were actually a part of it.
And how do they pick it? I mean, do they cut it off at a certain point? The first 50 in, or how do they?
Well, it's very political. You got to get in there. You got to know people and grease the wheels, so to speak.
Right, just to be even. To be one of the one of the council.
A dozen lawyers and firms split that money. So even if it was an even split, you're talking what, like $300 million almost per firm, 280 million per firm.
Yeah,
I mean that's just nuts. That's absolutely nuts.
And I mean that's an absolute life changer.
I mean I wouldn't work anymore. I mean if I had that, I'm done. I mean there's just no reason. There's no
way. You and Gina split that up and say, you know what? I'll see you on Christmas.
I'm like I'm done. I'm done.
That's what I'm saying.
280 million.
But that's the difference between me and you. If I had 280 million, I'd still want to get to.
I'm buying a radio station and I'm going back to the top.
I would.
I'm getting a flamethrower in Tampa. You watch.
I'll buy 98 Rock. I'll say, well, just name your price. And I go back on 98 Rock or 102.5.
The station cost me $279 million. I got $1 million left. Just bought a new house in Tierra Verde.
He bought his old house back.
Fabrizi and I are neighbors again.
I bought my old house back.
Going to the Tierra Verde meat market there, getting my Bubba steaks.
I wonder if we should ever, since you guys all do Bubba so well, I wonder if you guys should do a show where you're just me.
Like those?
Well, no, like I'm out of here. Like it's an after show where you guys just be me. Like just, whatever.
The whole show is just us being you to each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian.
Shut up, Lummy, you idiot.
Dumbass.
I know what's going on. I'm just setting the scene for the listeners. It's called working. Learn how to do it.
Are we done here?
This is why I'm the best ever, and you're the worst ever. Lummy, you're not a 7, you're a 5. That's it.
Lummy.
-3.
Lummy.
Yeah, Bubba.
Listen, Brian, if you guys are going to play this game, Brian, you can't be me all the time. You got to let him come back. Like you're just over.
No, that's not what Bubba would do.
No, but like you're dealing with two other Bubbas. They just
I'm going to shut up your mic if you keep going.
The two other Bubbas have got to be a little more engaging than just laying down there.
God.
Unless one Bubba's fuzzy Bubba and one Bubba's I don't know, hungry Bubba.
I got poop.
Anna can do that. She can be pooping and eating Bubba.
Yes.
Anna, I mean, Lummy, you can't sit here and play the Bubba game if you're just gonna go. I do more than make.
I do more than the burp. I
do more than just.
We're running late. We gotta take a commercial break now.
You gotta be able to strew some sentences together, Lummy. Jesus, you idiot!
I've said like 6, 7, 8 words.
Okay.
That's pretty good for me, Lummy.
Mom, thank you, Baba.
Have I mentioned I'm blackballed on radio?
I'm going
Quite simply, you're listening to pure filth, and he's damn proud of it. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
What the hell are you doing?
Strap yourself in. The emotional roller coaster is about to start.
We will give nothing back to the academic community, as well as provide no public service of any kind.
I promise you.
Now back to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Man, I think this show is a little crazy today.
William Hunt,
does the overall everything feel extra funny, or is it tense, or is it, am I being a dick, or what?
D, all of the above?
Oh.
Yeah, yes.
It's a roller coaster.
So is it a roller coaster of me being a dick?
Roller coasters of emotions with everyone except you, Bubba.
Roller coaster of emotions with everybody except you. ... Bubba. Let me. God bless your soul.
No problem.
See, Brian would have said something real schmarmy and dickish, making me feel bad about myself, and you beat him to the punch. So now his schmarmy dickness one doesn't even count. Like people are like, "Oh, way to go, Brian!" Trying to pile on the bad deal. Give yourself a +1 immediately.
Yes,
Lummy.
thank you.
Mm-hmm. Lummy, would you and Brian care to give me what you think you might know about Super Beats? I mean, do you guys have...
Super Beats by the company Human with 2 N's, you mean?
Yeah.
Don't
Oh,
forget
my goodness. I just happen to have a bag right here. I always have my Super Beats. I love them. How about you, Lummy?
I love them. I go to getsuperbeats.com and I always use promo code Bubba.
What does the promo code Bubba get you on getsuperbeats.com, Lummy?
It can get you up to a 30-day free trial or 15% off your first order by going to getsuperbeats.com and using promo code Bubba.
You know, Lummy Bubba, we all have a heartfelt reason to support our blood pressure. In fact, more than half of the U.S. population would benefit from blood pressure support. Did you know that? I bet you didn't because you're a big dummy.
But I take my Super Beats, so it's paired, and I love it. They're so good. They're like candy. I take 4 a day.
Don't forget that.
Paired with a healthy lifestyle, the antioxidants in Super Beats are clinically shown to be nearly 2 times more effective at promoting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone.
But did you know this, Brian? They sell more Super Beats than paper towels on Amazon, and that's a fact. With over 300,000 likes on Amazon, too. How can you go wrong? Come on, tell me.
You can't because they're a convenient way to support healthy blood pressure, Lucky.
Okay, you guys are great. I mean, that's great. Send it to them. They're going to love it.
Double your potential.
What's that,
No,
Lummy?
no.
You got to get Super Beats and throw it out, Brian, you dummy.
Double your potential with Super Beats Heart Chews. Get a free 30-day supply of Super Beats Heart Chews and 15% off your first order by going to getsuperbeets.com. That's GetSuperbeets.com. What's a promo code, Lummy?
That's promo, but you're supposed to do Get Super Beats, BEETS, getsuperbeets.com, promo code Bubba. Promo code me better, but it's Bubba.
Do it today, or I hate you
I'll
when you go to
smash you
Gila
down
Island.
like nothing else. I'll put Macho Man on you. Don't make me.
Hit you with the wiffle ball bat.
I'm sold.
All right.
I'm buying some Super Beats.
Thanks, guys. Hey, Lummy, so we have 2 more days left of the month, and I had this ingenious idea that I wanted to put a couple, maybe since today is Thursday, do like a throwback Thursday on our podcasting world to really, because I need 2 good days of some podcasts to hit my goal to trend up. We've trended up like the last 5 months, and we need like 10 out of 15,000 downloads in the next couple days in order for us to have our 6th straight month of upward trending. And the podcasting world, all the advertising agencies and stuff that buy ads, they really look at these statistics. Like it's very much a statistic driven, monetization deal. Like they pay you straight on your stats. So, downloads are important. And we have, in our podcasting world, hopefully you're familiar with it, but, Spotify, Google Play, iHeart, Apple, iTunes. There's just so many different podcasting, venues out there, and we're on all of them. All you have to do is type in the Bubba Army and go download our podcast. Lummy, we're putting up a Throwback Thursday one today, and it's one of the most infamous, I would say probably top 10 to 15 all-time phone calls that I received on the air since I've been in radio, and it was I don't know, was it Calvin the Ham?
No,
I forget what his name was.
We just called it the Ham Bandit.
His name was the Ham Bandit.
Yep.
And this is going to be available only on our podcast today, and we're going to upload this today at noon. And it's the infamous Ham Bandit call, and it's where this guy worked at a Piggly Wiggly, somewhere in Georgia, and he would take these little canned hams, and during his break, because he worked there he stocks up shelves or things like that. And during his break, he would go into the bathroom and have intercourse with these hams.
He'd brine them.
And he would.
God. What year was this?
2000 and.
I'm still reeling from the brine.
2007.
I'm still taken back from the brine. I don't know if that's a plus or a minus.
Zero Redmond, $10 on the Cash App for Moxo fixing the sound quality on the app.
Yeah, supposedly, from all indications I'm getting, it's like night and day from what we used to sound like 20 minutes ago. Except terrestrial, every other place that you hear us audibly, it's just should have noticeably gotten better because we just put this new fancy dancy equipment online and we're running it through there now. That's my understanding, Lummy, is how all that went down.
Yes, it is.
So the Ham Bandit then would make love to these hams and then just throw them in the trash can in the boys' bathroom Well, it got to be this big caper. The manager got involved, and they were trying to find out who's putting these, because he would just use it. He would have sex with this ham, and then not even try to be like if he had maybe put it in the garbage and then wrap up the garbage and take another container, not even try to be
like take it out,
cover it up,
not even try to be just being a real boss hog,
being a Hunter Biden.
You got a boss hogging around,
and so he did. He was just boss hogging it around, just laying remnants everywhere, and I got to be a real big caper. And
he just called in one time.
And he called in, and he's the ham bandit.
The manager of that store is like, why do all these seeing eye dogs love my bagger so much? All up in his crotch.
And he used to do it too, because I'm reading the little notes. To get rid of the ham evidence at home, he used to feed it to his dogs.
Yeah.
Yummy.
So, yeah. So he would take
tainted,
male brined hams, and his dogs would his dogs was basically ingesting
dogs
his
eat worse
semen.
stuff.
Yeah, they
I think
themselves.
I don't think you should give. I think it would be animal cruelty if you fed your dog semen.
Please.
Wouldn't it?
Not as a food.
I mean,
group,
if that's all you gave them, maybe.
No, but let's say you're some weirdo and you
Come
save
here,
your,
Lucky.
and you save your semen, and then you mix it in with this dry food to make it like a gravy train kind of deal.
I think that's fine.
I mean,
what are your loads like, Bubba?
No, but what I'm saying is
on a side of yogurt.
you would save them, Brian. You would save them up in the refrigerator.
Well,
and
you're
then,
the sickest human being I know.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You
Can you imagine if you were that guy? They should put you in prison. You were saying, it's okay to feed a dog semen, and I'm like, no. What if you took it to? What if you're feeding your dog semen as like the topping to his dry food every time he ate?
Oh, it looks like he called twice.
They should arrest you for that.
Bubba, it looks like he called twice. The first time is when he told you about the story when he used to have sex with the ham at Kroger's.
Right.
And then he called back 8 months later and said that while his wife has been out of town.
Wife?
He's married.
Oh, wow.
You asked him if he was screwing any more hams, and he said while his wife was out of town, he has a big pantry of it. And he uses power tools and microwaves to make it more realistic. And then after he feeds it to the dogs because his wife was getting kind of suspect on it.
Suspicious.
So listen, we need to put both of those calls back to back.
Yep.
And make those available only today on our podcast world. A throwback. That's one of the most infamous.
You want that at 5 or noon?
We want that at.
Are we doing an after show?
No. Yeah, we're gonna do a small after show, but not with Brian.
Okay.
But we'll throw that up at. We'll throw it up at 5.
Okay.
So the after show noon. Then the Ham Bandit Spectacular Lummy at 5.
Word.
And then hopefully everybody's going to flock to want to hear the ham. I mean, did somebody just say word?
No,
yeah, Anna just said word.
That's stupid. Who would say that? Not me.
Like, Anna, don't you feel now kind of stupid by somebody?
I didn't say it.
You said it. You said word.
We have a whistleblower in Rhett.
I'd also like to whistleblow that she is actively gaslighting you.
All right, Rhett Snowden. Enough. Yeah, I said word. Okay, sorry. I was thinking about Dave Chappelle. I was watching Dave Chappelle recently, and he's always like, word.
Hey, we all got to own up to our mistakes.
And I like the way he says it.
What's a gaslight? I forget.
It doesn't matter.
It's what she just did to you when she told you she did not say it.
It's when you know something to be true and somebody tries to convince you otherwise. That's one of the ways that you can gaslight somebody.
This entire show's a gaslight.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's all we do is screw with each other and call each other liars and lie to each other and be fake mean, but maybe really are mad. And then, you emulate Bubba and say such outlandish things, but deep down, that's really how you feel about me.
You know my favorite gaslight, Bubba? The one on my Skag mower, because that means I just did a great job mowing the lawn all day, and nothing's more satisfying than that to me. Get yourself a Skag.
Am I giving a +1 to Brian and Rhett for whistleblowing?
Yes.
Just so you know, hot dog.
There's not enough soap in the world to make him clean up his act.
Get out of my sight!
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.